Hi guys, do you also struggle to beat the microstake? In this video, I'm going to show you how I do to beat the microstakes and focus on NL2 Fullring. I've been playing poker since 2011 and mainly focus on Fullring cash game, and I beat the games up to no limit 50. This is going to be a play and explain video, and I'm going to show you how I do in 2023 to play Fullring, and this is a beginner video. And I hope that this will help someone who is struggling. The plan is to play about 30 minutes of poker and explain while I play. When I play, I use a poker tracker or a HUD, and that's something I recommend when you play. I have a link in my description below. So as you can see, I'm a winning player on No Limit 2. This is a lot of hands. It's 733,000 hands on No Limit 2 Fullring only. And I've been making $1,400 on No Limit 2 Fullring. Without further ado, let's get started. If you use the poker tracker, make sure that you click get hands while playing. So then you have the poker tracker running. We can minimize that, and then we'll move on to the tables and see how the tables looks like. So you click on the cash tab here, and then you have a look at the tables and see how it looks like. Now, what I usually do before I join a table is to check on the player types. I usually mark the players with a label. For example, a fish, they have a green label. A good player has a red label. And that's basically it, what I use. Then I also have like a maniac that is a total, goes all in with every hand and so on. But usually these are the colors I use. So let's have a look and see if we can find any good table. This requires that you have played against other players before you can mark them, of course, but if you haven't, then you will soon enough find the players who are bad players and so on. So let's have a look at the tables. Let's see. I prefer to have at least 3 fishes if it's possible. So here we can see 1, 2, 3 fishes is on this table. And let's join the waiting list there. Now we automatically get another table. So let's see, we are on the waiting list here. This table is no good to start with. It's just 3 players, so we are gonna find another table. And here we have 1 fish, the rest I don't really know. And this one, we have 1 fish. Looks like one thing that you can look for is when they are not full stack. Usually a sign of a fish. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3 other players that are not full stack, so I'm gonna join this table. And once again, I've popped into another table, which actually looks pretty good here. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that table I got dealt. And then we have another table here. So try to aim and find the fishes. Like here we have 2 fishes. Maybe we can find a better table. And let's have a look and see. 1, 2 fishes. There we had 1 table with 3 fishes. Where did it go? Yeah, but I think we can find a better one. Here we had 1. 1, 2, 3 there. This one looks better. So we'll join the waiting list for that and we'll start to play. So the plan is to play for about 30 minutes. And normally I would wait for the big blind, but now we're just gonna untick that because we want to play. And yeah. So we are waiting for 1 more table. And what we can do meanwhile is to mark the players. So here, for example, he's not full stack. And since this is No Limit 2, I'm going to mark this player as a fish. I don't really know yet, but my assumption would be that. So let's go around the tables and mark the players who is not a full stack as a fish. Just a very simple, what do you call it? Very simple assumption. Interesting flops here. I just called the big blind just to get started and not to wait longer, but we're not going to fall with our top or 2 pair. It's not top 2 pair, but we have 2 pair. Yeah, someone could potentially have ace queen, but I see no raise before pre-flop, so I think that I'm still good here. And I'm gonna try and bet like small for value here. And the fishes folds. Then we take down 15 big blinds. Moving on to another table here. 4-3 off. I'm not gonna defend on the big blind. We are gonna play tight and solid. So yeah, we're gonna mark the other players here. Less than 100 big blinds, looks like a fish. Another one also looks like a fish. And another one also looks like a fish. So you might be thinking, why are you not just playing Zoom? Well, because there are more fishes on the full ring, and in the long run you make more big blind per 100, even though it goes a lot quicker playing Zoom and so on. But yeah, if you're just a beginner and starting out, I would recommend to play full ring poker or 6-max regular tables, because there's so many more fishes there than there is on these fast formats or cash Zoom games and so on. So that's my recommendation, but it's up to you. And also, I don't really beat the Zoom games and so on. So yeah, I've been beating the full ring games, and that's what I focus on. I'm playing on Pokerstars, as you might see, and I cannot join more than 4 tables. However, we are missing 1 more table. I'm gonna have a look and see if there is. Just gonna fold the Jack 5 off here, and ace 8 queen off. We are gonna fold also, not gonna complete, even though it's just a half big blind. Let's have a look. I mean, there are so many good tables. It's very easy to find good tables on NL2. Here we found one. And now we have 4 tables. So yeah, let's play and explain. The Jack 9 off here, we're not gonna call or do anything. So the main thing we're gonna do is to either to raise or 3-bet or 4-bet. We are not gonna try and limp. That's one thing I would avoid and recommend you to avoid, because you want to have the initiative while playing, and if you raise, then you have the initiative. We can meanwhile mark some player. Jack 6 off here. We see a limp here, also a classic sign of a fish. We're gonna fold the Jack 6 off. Here we see we have the poker HUD where this player has 14-10. Looks like that's a good VPIP and PFR for full ring, so we're gonna mark this player as a good player. He's also sitting with the 100 big blind, which is the max amount that you can enter the table with. So because of that, we are gonna mark him as a good player. The other players seems to be fishes so far. All right, ace king here on another table. So we start with a raise. I'll do a 3x raise. That's my standard raise on NL2. You can also try with 4 big blinds, but I think that was a bit how it was before. Now I've even seen players raise to 2.5x, but for NL2 I would recommend at least 3 big blinds. See a raise here under the gun, looks like a fish. I'm gonna try and set mine here, so we're gonna call with the freeze. And this player actually looks like a good player, 15-12 VPIP, and I have 178 hands on him, so I am gonna mark him as a good player. And we don't hit the set here. I see 2 fishes. I think they are both fishes at least. So, and he bets pot size here. Since I don't have anything, I'm gonna fold. And we'll move on. What I was gonna say about this player, 13-8, we're gonna mark him as a bad rig or tag fish. I mean, he's not the worst player, but it's not super good either. And this player, we have too few hands. I only have 7 hands, so I don't really know. So we'll wait to mark that player. So that's one thing I would recommend, to mark the players, and so then you know that you can play against the other bad players later and so on, when you have a look at the tables and see much easier before you join a table, if it is a good table or not. And 9 deuce off here, we are not going to do anything, we're just going to fold. We have a fish here and another fish, so yeah, just folding. And this is also one thing, it will be a lot of folds on the full ring and a lot of waiting time. So that's just how it is. But we gotta play solid and just wait for a decent hand. 6-9 off, even though we're on a button, we're expected to raise more here from the button, but I'm gonna fold the 6-9 off. Alright, we have pocket fives here, gonna do a raise, even though it's from under the gun. We see one call from another fish. And then we see this is a classic classic fish move, min re-raise. I mean, normally a good player would have raised like 18 big blinds or something, 15 to 18 big blinds. We are not going to fold against another 2 big blinds, so we're going to call and hope for a 5, and that's a nice set. Just hope that this player doesn't have aces this time, that he's min re-raising with. And he re-raises. Think I'm going to re-raise here, not going to think too much here. We're just going to re-raise and hope that he has ace king or something, or ace queen or whatever. But we have a set here, so we're going to get it all in here and hope that he doesn't have aces. If he has, nice hand for him then. And there we go, it goes all in, so we'll see. Ace 10, oh, top 2 pair actually. Not so bad. Can we hold? We have 83%, so let's see. Hopefully, no ace or 10, and there we go, nice. Alright, here we did 10-9 off, I'm gonna raise from the cutoff. But we also can open a bit wider. And we see another fish call. We have the flush draw, and we can also have the pretend to have the queen, but we have a 10 here. So I'm gonna try with a c-bet, and usually they fold a lot when you just do a c-bet, and I recommend to bet like 60%, something like that, when playing full ring at least. Because they fold a lot on the flop, and if they continue, then they usually have something, and we'll have to evaluate on the turn and river. 7-8 off here, we see a limp, not a good play here, even though he's a bad reg. Could be trapping here with some queens, jacks plus or something, I don't really know. Maybe he's not that good as I thought. King 8 offsuit here, we are just gonna fold. And same with the deuce 8 off. So just to wait for a decent hand and play solid, and you should be fine. Also, one thing is to always sit out with 100 big blinds at least. Don't have anything less than 100 big blinds. It's like, it's not a good play. You should always sit with 100 big blinds, because then if you, for example, have aces, then you will get max value if you get it all in preflop, for example. So yeah, it's not a good idea to sit with less than 100 big blinds, so that's one recommendation. Alright, we don't have so much going on right now. We have queen free offsuit here. We are not going to do anything except for folding. Let's have a look at the other tables. There is not much going on. So what you can do is have a look at the players, which I usually always do, to see 11-4 here. Doesn't look too good. Sort of marking sort of fish, but don't really know, so that's why the darker green. yeah, so this is how what will happen a lot of the times. You'll just have to wait and be patient, and eventually you'll have some hand. Ace 10 suited is playable. If he's gonna raise here, then yeah, then I'm gonna re-raise. I was gonna say, let's make it 8 big blind. So I usually do it 3x, but the standard raise would be 3 big blind, and he folded. So as I said before in the beginning, we're gonna try to avoid to call and just do 3-bet, except for when we have a small set pocket pair. Then we're gonna try and set mine. And sometimes I will also call against a good rig, raising from under the gun if I'm on the button. I might call with 10-9 suited and so on to try and hit something, since I am in position then. But in general, it's going to be raise, 3-bet, 4-bet, or fold, and just to call with low pocket pairs. I think this player looks like a fish. He's going below 100 big blinds, and we just see him limp calling here. And he also has a special tag here, which says that he has only played 10,000 real money hands, which isn't a lot. So I'm quite confident to mark him as a fish here. So for example, if you play a lot of hands for 1 month, you should usually get up to over 100,000 hands and so on, depending on how many hours you play. But if you play a lot, then yeah. So 10,000 hands is not a lot of hands. King 8 off here. Let's see what he'll do. He folds, alright. We are gonna raise here. It's just been limped, even though it limped from under gun, a bit scary here. But limped and called, the raise with ace king off and ace 9 off. So this is what the HUD tells me from the poker tracker. We'll see what he do. If he re-raises, then we're gonna fold. But yeah, as you see, just raise, and usually they'll fold. Take the initiative. We don't have anything else here. We have king 9 off here. So you raise under the gun. If you want to see what they're raising with, I have 900 hands on this specific player. You can click on the tabs here and you can have a look at PFR. From early position, he is only raising 4%, which is really tight. So I'm assuming that he has a decent hand when he's raising from the UTG, such as ace king, kings, and yeah, queens plus and so on. It's really tight with 4% only raising from UTG. So that's something to have a look at, and which the HUD can help you to determine. Alright, we're gonna raise with the pocket 9s here. Standard 3x raise. And I mean, here you can see this is a typical fish. 10 big blinds only. I mean, you don't sit with 10 big blinds playing. So, yeah. If you're serious about poker, at least. So we raised here. We see a call. Flop a set again. Meanwhile, we have kings also. I'm gonna raise that. Back to the 9s. We are gonna bet, even though it's a bit scary. Scary board with all the flushes and so on. But we're gonna continue. I mean, we have a set. I mean, he could have 10 jack. It could be reasonable. Now when he leads, I'm gonna bet and hope for a full house or something, which doesn't happen. Okay, it could be that he actually has 10 jack here or a flush, but I don't think we really can. I think most likely I think he has 10 jack here, but I'm gonna call anyway here. Wow. Okay, yeah. Fishes, and we have an interesting one here. We have a set. I think we're just gonna call here because it's a bit scary. And now, actually, this river is not good. He most likely has an ace, because if he has an ace, he has a straight, and I have a set, so I'm gonna fold. Also here, kings. This river really sucks when the flush completes. I think he could have it. We're gonna call anyway, and he had queens. A queen 8. Didn't see that there was actually 2 queens on that board. If we have a look again, that board. So I raised here. I can replay the hand. I raised. I called. Bet. Calls. It's another queen there. I didn't really notice the queen actually. And then he bets half pot size here, and I mean, just to call basically. So unfortunate. Sure how long we've been playing now, but we're gonna continue to play a bit more. Ten-jack suited here, and it's quite close. We are in middle position 1, and I think we can. Yeah, I think we can raise here. Let's see colors. Looks like a fish here also. All right, that's a nice flop. I'm gonna bet here. I mean, we can pretend we have the ace. A lot of callers though, so an option could be to check also. But we have the gut shot draw. We have the flush draw, not the nut flush draw, but almost. So this is an interesting spot. And this one I must look up and see what the best play is, just to call or just to shove it all in. No. Wow. No, wow, the time bank is really it's really low. That sucked. He probably has some ace-x hands, so yeah. Alright, so we called here with the deuces. He raised and he called. So let's see what they'll do. Hope that he starts to bet. And then I'm gonna re-raise on the turn or something. I don't think I really want to re-raise now because I want to keep this player in here, so I'm just gonna call. Alright. Full house. However, he could have, I mean, it's unlikely he has ace deuce here because I have the deuce. It's like one single card, so it's very unlikely. Ace 8, sure, okay, the 10 is not so great here, but it checks here, so it kind of looks like he might not have an ace. Is he a re-raise here? It's gonna suck. Usually when they re-raise you should fold, but we have a boat. But I do think it has ace 10. You're gonna call. Wow. So usually when a player re-raises on the river, you should fold. But in this case, a boat, it's not as easy to fold, and he's a fish also, and just hoping that he didn't have the ace 10 or ace 8 or something. And luckily he didn't. That's something you can make a note on. Just re-raise on the river with just trips. Yeah, this is basically how we do it. I'm not sure if we're actually up this session yet, considering the loss I had before. Yeah, we are actually up $2. We've been playing for about 23 minutes. 8 is off, not gonna do anything else, just gonna fold here. So here you can see the graph. I've been playing for 23 minutes now, now limit 2, and we're up $2.19. I mean, it doesn't make you rich overnight playing NL2 Fullring, but it's where a lot of players start, and there's a lot of fish there, and if you just play solid poker, then you should be fine and make some profit in the long run. 7-8 suited from the cutoff here. I am gonna raise. Tempted to also call here. Raise is 14%. We're almost in position here. Tempted to call, but all right. We see him in re-raise here from this fish player. Also, we're gonna play tight and we're gonna fold. Here also 10-5 offsuit. I did not raise or do anything. We were just in the big blind, and it was just a limp pot. We're the top pair, but I really doubt that we have the best hand here. Could be that they have some 6x hand or whatever. They can have anything when they just limp there. 7 on the turn. Just checked. I don't really want to bet here. We're just gonna check it down. Very small bet. And it checked before. We're gonna fold still. All right, ace jack. Can we see a limp from this player? It's been limping and calling raise with 6s freeze, ace 8 suited, queen 10 suited, ace queen, king jack, and so on. We're gonna raise here to take control of the pot or initiative. So when I'm out of position here, I do a 3x plus 1 extra big blind or 2. And yeah, as you can see, I mean, they don't even want to play. They just fold sometimes. And sometimes they go all in preflop with 7 deuce offsuit and so on. So it really depends on the player types. All right, pocket 7s here. You see a player's been limping here. Okay, we see quite a big raise here. Decent player. I'm just gonna call. Try to set mine. And I only have 60 hands on him, but he looks like a decent player. Raising 7% from the early position so far. All right, we have an overpair. And I think we could maybe good here. We're not gonna fold yet because of the overpair and so on. Could be that he also have like ace king or something. He checks here. I think I'm gonna try with a stab. But on the other hand, this player is behind. Let's check. Could be that he's going for a flush draw. The 10 is really bad. We're just gonna check it down now. Eights, close. Yeah, he was going for the flush draw with the queen 7 suited there, so he had my 7. Could have maybe taken a stab there on the turn, but yeah, it didn't in this case. So it's basically just to sit and wait for a decent hand and then play the hand as good as you can. We have been playing for 27 minutes now, so I'm gonna wrap it up really soon. But this is basically how I do. You just wait for a decent hand and then play. And have a look at the players who are at the tables. And if there are no good players, then I would suggest moving table, leaving that table. So always keep an eye. You want to have at least 3 fishes at the tables, because it's the fishes that will make you the money. And yeah, at this player here we have a looks like a good player, 14-8, or well, decent player, so yeah. I mark him as a good player anyway. Sevens again, gonna raise under the gun. Ace 10 under the gun here, I'm gonna fold. It's too early to raise with ace 10 off there. Two colors. I see a limp bet. I guess a limp bet here. I'm gonna try with a bluff. Hope that he doesn't have queens here. Because when they limp, they usually don't have it. So what you can do is try to raise it up there. But I prefer to do that just against one player. But in this case, yeah, I think it could work. Ace queen suited here. Gonna raise also. And one fish calls. The king is a really good one. He folds 30%, so I'm gonna try with a bluff here. And we have the backdoor flush draw. Don't really think he's gonna try. We could try and stab again, but I think it's not gonna work. Not against this player type. And now we're just gonna fold, so it could be that it's a straight or whatever. Pocket sevens here, we're gonna call, even though when you're a small blind. I prefer to re-raise, but we are gonna call and try and set mine. We don't hit the set, we're just gonna check it down. See what they do. Checks here. I'm gonna try with a stab when he checked. Yeah. Use the opportunities and try to steal the pot. So this player, he's only folding now 25% on the flop. So, and I mean, I only have 18 hands, so I really don't know. You should have at least a couple of 100 hands before you can make any assumptions, but yeah. All right, so yeah, I think we've been playing for about 30 minutes. Short session, but well, we didn't have too many interesting spots, but yeah, we're gonna sit out on the tables and so on. Overall, I made $2.01, so it's not much, but I mean, it's just to play, and yeah, that's how I do it. So I hope you enjoy the content and so on, and if you like my channel and so on, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and click on the like button and comment any thoughts and so on. So yeah, next time I might try the No Limit 5 to show you how it is there and so on, and the difference with the stakes. So let me know what you want to see the next time and so on, and take care. Bye for now, guys.